Welcome back to NFL Weekly Predictions, and let's talk to Ruben Calvillo. Let's do it. All right, this is another episode of Weekly Predictions, and today we're talking to the host of 713 Houston Sports, the up and rising new sports YouTuber Ruben Calvillo. Man, how you doing, Ruben?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, man, anytime. I've been wanting to talk to you for a while, man. I'm a fan of your channel.
Thank you. So is I. It's about time you had me on, man.
Man, you got some good content over there. Anybody listening, if you guys are playing the Houston Texans or you're in Houston and you're a Houston Texans fan, go check out Ruben and his channel 713 Houston Sports. Awesome channel.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Man, but let me pick your brain a little bit, man, about the Houston Texans. I know week 1 is coming up, and I'm excited. Are you excited?
Oh, I'm very excited. You know, this is a new Houston Texans team that we haven't seen before.
So the landscape changed a little bit over the offseason, as everybody knows. And, of course, we no longer have Hopkins with us, and that changes the things a little bit here in Houston.
Yes, sir.
What I'm going to ask you is, let's start it off with, do you think the Texans are better or worse off since last year?
Well, I think it all depends on health. If Will Fuller, Kenny Stills, Randall Cobb, Brandon Cooks find a way to stay healthy, then this offense is going to be much better. And it starts with the offensive line, who has 5 starters returning. And last season, when they played a full 4 games, the Texans went 3-1, only allowed 8 sacks. Yes, I'm looking at top. You know, this is the first time the Houston Texans do not have a number 1 wide receiver since Andre Johnson. But with Deshaun Watson about to enter his prime, this offensive line being better, this offense is going to be much more better.
Yeah, man, I agree. Let me give you my thoughts about the Houston Texans, man. I'm very, very, like you said, we don't have a number 1 receiver. And you look around the league and you see the good teams out there, and almost the teams are not 8-8, don't make the playoffs. You look at their roster, they never have a number 1 receiver. That's the only thing that worries me about the Houston Texans right now, that, man, they lost Hopkins. I know they have an awesome group of receivers now, but man, are they gonna, and not only that, we're going through this pandemic. It's not regular practice. I don't know if they had the time to all get together and play and know each other. But that's one of the things that does worry me about the Texans starting off against the Kansas City Chiefs, man. That's another thing. Well, we'll touch on that a little bit later. Let me just get your reaction of whenever you heard of the Hopkins trade. What was your mind thought about that?
Yeah. So before I get to that, that comment, the thing you said about some playoff teams not having a number 1 wide receiver, in the Super Bowl, the 49ers did not have a number 1 wide receiver. They had a combination of Emmanuel Sanders, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, and you could win a Super Bowl without wide receivers. I mean, how many has Tom Brady's won? And can you name, a good wide receiver he has had? So you could definitely win. It just comes down to coaching. It comes down to scheme. Now, with Hopkins, I actually found out about the Hopkins trade an hour before it happened. I was in shock. I was like, there's no way this is going to be, there's no way this is going to be true. They're not trading DeAndre Hopkins. And next thing you know, an hour later, he gets traded to Arizona for Mr. David Johnson. I was shocked. I was like, what are we doing as an organization? Why are we giving away a for sure potential Hall of Fame wide receiver for a running back who's been injured the past 2 years?
And what we got back, man, it wasn't what I thought we were gonna get back.
No, and that's what upsets me the most, because everybody should be on the trade block except for number 4.
Right.
And if you look at what the Bills gave the Vikings for Stephon Diggs, they gave him a 1st-round pick, a 2nd-round pick, a 4th-round pick, a 5th-round pick. They got a king's ransom for Stephon Diggs, and the fact that OBrien couldn't get that out of any other team, it really upset me at the point. But that happened almost 3 months ago. I'm just excited for David Johnson. I'm excited for this team, really.
Right now, do you think we didn't get enough back because maybe since OBrien is new to the the GM block, teams might be taking advantage of him, maybe?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I would do the same thing. You know, if I was another GM, you know, I would have told O'Brien as well, hey, I'm gonna give you David Johnson and I'm gonna give you a 2nd-round pick for DeAndre Hopkins. You know, no other team offered the Houston Texans a 1st-round pick, so that shows you that O'Brien himself cannot delegate. So yes, I was very upset about the lack of compensation.
Now, what do you think about the way the offense is going to be ran? Do you think Bill O'Brien's going to get impatient and jump in there and try to take over the offense?
So I don't think he's going to do that because, you know, Tim Kelly has pretty much been there day in, day out, working with Deshaun Watson. And, you know, Deshaun Watson has said it himself, like, I love what Tim Kelly is doing. I love what he's bringing. One thing that Tim Kelly did is that he went to each different skill position player and said, what do you want to run in this offense? And that just excites you more because not only is the playbook driven by a coach, but it's driven by the players as well.
Right. To look at the Texans on paper, man, it excites me. Even though we don't have that number one, but we still have Fuller. We got Cooks, Cobb, Feld. And you know what really excites me about the Texans this season is the offensive line. Now, man, imagine what Deshaun could do with the offensive line that we got now with experience.
Oh, for sure. Yes. So I've done about 4 videos on the Houston Texans offensive line. I've said it many times that they're going to be a top 10 offensive line. And a lot of people are looking at me like crazy, like, don't know what you're talking about. But let's look at the facts. Fact number 1, Laremy Tunsil now has 1 full training camp under the Houston Texans. Matt Sharping, who was to his right, the left guard, would play phenomenal his rookie year. Nick Martin, the center, had a very underrated season. Now the right guard gives me a little worry, but Zach Fulton was next to 1st-round pick Titus Howard. This offensive line was borderline elite. In 4 games, they got sacked 8 times. So if you add that up, you know, that's 32 times he gets sacked on the season. That drops him from number 1 all the way down to number 20. And can you imagine the type of production he could get if he was the 20th sack quarterback?
I'm telling you, man, the combination with a good offensive line this season, and if Deshaun throws the ball 2 or 3 seconds, can you imagine? And with the 4 receivers that we have out there, and I'm not even talking about Darren Fells. I think he's gonna be an improved tight end this season. The only thing is, man, first game we're going against Kansas City. Can I get your prediction on that?
Look, it could go either way. The Texans can either come out swinging and go toe to toe with Kansas City, or they could get caught in the lights and get blown out. But I don't think they're gonna get blown out because the Houston Texans understand the hate that they have been getting. They are one of the most talked about teams, because of the horrible, blowing 24-0. You trade your best wide receiver. Nobody is expecting this Houston Texans team to be successful, and that is what's driving them. And also, you got Deshaun Watson. I think it's going to be a shootout game. I think if it's 38-35, if the Texans win, I'll be super excited. If the Texans lose 38-35, I'll be super excited as well because it shows you that this works, that this new offense works.
Right, man. And the Houston man, talk about underdog.
Oh man, they have us going 6-10. They have us being one of the worst teams in the league, one of the worst teams in the division. It's ludicrous how horrible they have us.
Yeah, because people outside of Houston, they're not looking at the team for what they really are.
Agreed.
Now they're just looking at Bill O'Brien, all his dumb moves.
Exactly.
They traded him. It started with the trade last year.
Exactly.
They're looking at this organization as a joke.
Oh, for sure.
So yeah, man. So that's one point against us, and then another that we don't have the tools supposedly that we had last year.
Yeah. We here in Houston, we know what's going on. Mm-hmm. We know exactly what we're trying to build, what we're trying to run. Other teams are just expecting us to fail. So, yes, keep us as the underdog. Oh, yeah, man. Underdog. And, that's going to make a win even sweeter for the Texans if they pull it out. And I think one of the biggest plus for us is I don't think they're going to have a crowd over there. Yeah, I mean, Arrowhead is one of the loudest stadiums ever recorded in history. It's gonna be a good game. I'm super just excited for it.
Oh man, me too. So yeah, man, I would love. So you have the Texans winning or losing?
I just want it to be a close game, but since me being biased, I'm gonna say 38-35 Houston.
Okay. And I want Houston to win too, but I'm gonna go against the grain with you, and I got him losing.
So what is your score prediction?
My score prediction is 28-21.
Now, okay, so even if it's 28-21, I'm satisfied because you were able to score against the Kansas City Chiefs. The only problem is you couldn't freaking, you couldn't stop them.
Right. I don't know what kind of scheme, but they have to stop the tight end.
Yeah, Travis Kelce, one of the best tight ends in football. Lonnie Johnson has said, hey, I want that matchup. I want Travis Kelce. I don't know why he's saying that. Travis Kelce definitely ate him up in the playoff game. But the thing about the Chiefs, the key to winning is you have to get after Patrick Mahomes. Even if you don't get that, you have to put pressure on him. Anthony Weaver, the new Texans defensive coordinator, said himself that he wants to get exotic, that he has pass rushers. He just has to put him in the right positions. And if you look at the Baltimore Ravens, they were one of the last teams in sacks, but they were one of the best teams in pressure because they were just blitzing and blitzing and blitzing. And if the Houston Texans do that, they're going to be successful.
Yeah, man, that's one thing they got to do is put Mahomes on his butt the whole game, so he won't have that confidence, back there just to sling the ball around. But with that being said, man, I appreciate you being on the show.
No problem. Thanks for having me. Anytime.
And I would want to get your whole season prediction, but I'm gonna save that for the later weeks.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully, I'll have you next week, and we'll talk Baltimore. That's another big game.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, our first 7 games are tough.
Tell me about it, man. It's tough, but that's a good line to see where the Texans are going to be at.
I agree. It's a huge test, and if you come out 3-4, I'm ecstatic.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And we definitely got to earn the respect around the league because right now we're the joke, but I think we're going to get it. Ruben, man, I appreciate you. And I will talk again this week, next week, and man, it was nice having you.
Thank you so much.
All right, that was Ruben Calvillo from the Houston 713 Houston Sports Channel. He's up and rising, man. He's rising pretty quick up in the ranks here in Houston. Subscribe to his channel, and I'll guarantee you he has some good content. So check it out, enjoy it, and remember, the weekend's coming up. Stay out of trouble and stay out of jail. Peace out.